Hello, Everypony. I'm Permissive Adele, and thank you for tuning in to my audio reading. Now, I'm afraid I've been a little out of it. I've been across the pond, as it were. Me and my brother went to England for spring break. However, I've been away from the internet for quite some time, and I just got back, so time to start recording again. Now I'm going to record a bunch of these chapters just so I get caught up, and I'll try and post them all at once. Alright, well, it has recently come to my attention that A Night to Try to Remember was updated, and I don't know why I'd originally thought it was an individual story, but apparently it's 3 different parts, or maybe even more. Anyway, so here is part 2. And again, thank you to my brother for reading all of the male parts in this segment. Sorry, rambling at this point. Alright, without further ado, here it is. A Night to Try to Remember, Part 2, by Zaptifun. Are you feeling better, Twilight Sparkle? The Princess of the Night asked. A little bit, Princess. Thank you, Twilight allowed, taking a long sip from her glass of water before softly setting it back on the table. At a glance, it appeared little had changed in the appearance of the group in the 20 minutes since Princess Luna had finished relating Twilight's mishap from the night before. However, close inspection would reveal an empty plate that once held a sandwich in front of Big Macintosh, and bowls of salad, ranging from partially eaten to just a few leaves remaining at Fluttershy, Rarity, and Luna's places. As for the others, they had opted for refills on their glasses of water, except for Pinkie, whose face remained submerged in her bowl. Twilight was convinced that the pink pony was somehow breathing through her ears. So, who wants to go next and tell us their side of what happened last night? Twilight asked.
Ladies first,
Macintosh said quickly. A little too quickly, it seemed to Applejack. She suddenly narrowed her eyes at him, a gaze which he avoided. Rarity dabbed a napkin to her lips. Very well, then. I shall do my best to recount last night's events with myself, Rainbow, and Pinkie Pie. Oh, joy! The Pegasus groused. Now, Rainbow dear, you'll be relieved to know that your experience last night was not as, colorful as Twilight's. Said Unicorn grumbled. Now then, where do I begin? I was carrying Rainbow back to her home with Pinkie Pie. However, I forgot one teensy little detail. Rarity gazed up at Rainbow Dash's cloud house, floating a good 30 feet above the ground. Ah, yes. I can't fly, can I? She sighed morosely. Oh, how I miss those marvelous wings. Pinkie Pie stumbled to a stop alongside Rarity, her eyes bleary as she blinked hard to clear them. How come we... She yawned hugely. How come we've stopped? Rarity nodded upward. Well, we were going to drop Rainbow off at her house. Pinkie looked up at the house through half-lidded eyes. I don't think you can reach that high. I know that, dear, she said with a roll of her eyes. I would need quite the boost to get up there. Pinkie pursed her lips hard at the thought for a moment, before speaking again with a supportive smile. You're a good person, and ponies say really nice things about you. I didn't mean a morale boost, Pinkie. I mean a physical one. Oh, the pink pony glanced back up the house. I don't think I'm tall enough either. Rarity shook her head in amusement. Pinkie dear, I do believe that the alcohol is not allowing you to think straight. Thinking straight is boring. Thinking sideways is so much more fun. Pinkie smiled widely, once again before yawning. But I do get sleepy when I drink, and it makes me go through phases. Like in the first phase, I'm tired. But in the second phase, I'm tired and forgetful. The third phase, I'm back to being just tired. And I think the fourth phase is sleep. But I haven't figured that out yet. I always wake up before I can. Rarity nodded, more out of habit than actual understanding, and returned her gaze back to Dash's house. Well, if we can't get her up there, then I suppose we'll have to find another place for her to stay tonight. Ooh, she can stay at my place. I've got enough space in my room for her, and I know the cakes won't mind. Rarity cast Pinkie a thoughtful look. Well, with Sweetie Belle staying with me this week, I don't have a spare bedroom for Rainbow to use anyway. Thank you, Pinkie Pie. That is most kind of you. Pinkie tilted her head in confusion. What is? letting Rainbow stay with you, of course. She gasped excitedly. Rainbow's staying with me? That's super fantabulous. Whatever's going on? Rarity stared at her flatly. This is your phase 2, isn't it? Yep, this is whatever it is you just said. And you're going to be like this for how long? Be like what? Be in phase 2. Who's phase 2? Ugh, you are, and it's affecting your memory. Who's affecting my memory? Rarity's patience was steadily wearing thin, and she regretted not having one more drink. I can see we're not going to get anywhere this way. Pinky giggled. We can't get anywhere fast, and we're still standing. Oh, wow, we're at Rainbow's house. Ugh. A frustrated sigh escaped the unicorn as she rubbed her temples to stave off a headache. Let's just get you to Sugar Cube Corner, shall we? Okie dokie dokie. Pinky bounced away in the direction of the confectionery shop, and Rarity followed close behind, a very much unconscious Rainbow Dash in her gentle telekinetic grip. Pinky suddenly stopped and turned around, a cheerful smile on her face. Hi, Rarity! When did you get here? Oh, Celestia, give me strength. Okay. I was wondering why you guys took me to Pinky's place, Dash commented, her eyes now mostly open, but quite bloodshot. That was a huge shock for me this morning when... Rainbow, don't interrupt, Rarity chided. You'll ruin the narrative timeline. Pinky's head suddenly jolted up out of the bowl, catching everyone's attention. Timeline? Time doesn't travel in lines. It travels in circles, and that's why clocks are round. She smiled in self-satisfaction for a moment before face-planting into the bowl once again, splashing the table with water. Anyway, Rarity said, after an awkward moment of silence, to continue. Hi there, Ditzy. That's your mailbox, darling, Rarity said warily, as they finally made it to Sugar Cube Corner. The trek from Dash's house to the sweet shop seemed like an eternity for Rarity, since Pinky kept stopping every 30 minutes to either say hi or ask where they were supposed to be going. The occasional stop for a conversation with a random lamp or bush hadn't helped either. It was a great relief to know that as soon as she deposited Dash and Pinky, she could go home and get some much-needed sleep. She was further relieved when Pinkie Pie pulled out her key without even any prompting. Phase 3, Pinky? She asked hopefully. The Earth Pony responded with a yawn. It is? I guess I forgot Phase 2. We better get inside before Phase 4 starts. They made their way inside and headed up the stairs to Pinky's bedroom. As they neared the top of the stairs, Rarity felt a cold chill run down her spine. She stopped, Dash floating next to her as she scanned the darkness. They hadn't turned on any lights for fear of waking Mr. and Mrs. Cake, or the twins, and the ambient moonlight through the windows allowed them to see well enough not to worry about tripping over anything. Darkness could still play its tricks, however. Shadows seemed to move and waver, and everyday objects took on the ethereal appearance. She swore she saw a figure move out of the corner of her eye. Rarity knew there was nothing to worry about. It was just shadows and tricks of the light. There certainly wasn't hideous, glowing-eyed monsters hiding around the corner, waiting to gobble them up. Nope, nothing at all. Still, a little extra light never hurt anything. A soft glow emanated from the tip of her horn, casting just enough light for her to make out objects clearly. She peered around the corner at the top of the stairs. A pair of glowing eyes stared back, her throat constricted, choking off a scream. She froze in terror, the glowing eyes never leaving hers. Gummy! Pinky bounced past Rarity and picked up the apparition in a hug. He came out to meet us! Isn't that sweet? It took a moment, but the unicorn finally recognized the tamed reptilian in the dim light. She leaned against the corner, heaving a sigh of relief. Thump! Thud, 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 thunk. Rarity winced. She had relaxed a little too much. Turning to look, she saw Dash's crumpled form resting against the wall at the bottom of the stairs, still unconscious. Sorry, Rainbow.